Hello everyone and welcome back to Full House Sports here with myself Charlie. Right, a story, well they're always a story really, coming out of the Championship, and one that I sort of believe personally, there's no rhyme or reason to it, but just sort of putting two and two together and trying to put an early prediction in, is Wrexham. Because they're always a story. They obviously went up to the Championship this year after back-to-back promotions. And they spent a lot of money, it should be said, they've spent a lot of money. They're always gonna do that. They want to invest. Ryan Reynolds, Rob McElhenney, they want to invest, they want the team to be the best they can. And they've not started great, I think it's fair to say. They've not started well at all. And I know there's some other podcasts that have picked up on this and some other ones that have said about it, and I'm just going to get straight with that. I think Phil Parkinson could potentially be under a lot of pressure. Wrexham sit on 8 points. They drew at the weekend against Derby. Derby are a side who probably at home Wrexham would have thought was, I don't want to say must win, but if you want to stay in the league, that probably is a must win. Derby know that they are going to be down the bottom again fighting because of their financial situation, because of where they are as a club trying to rebuild, do things the right way. Wrexham probably would have looked at that, and said that that's 3 points. That has to be 3 points. They only got one. And their next 3 games are Leicester away, which is tomorrow night. Birmingham at home, that's a massive game. That's always going to be a massive game. And then Stoke away, who are flying at the moment, who are still doing really well down in the Championship. So there's no doubt there's going to be 3 games there that potentially they could not get any points out of, or would not expect to get many points out of. So I wonder if Phil Parkinson is under pressure. Listen, potentially I'm being too conspiratory. There's a lot of Wrexham fans, and I don't know, but they will probably say, listen, we've done phenomenal. Phil Parkinson's done a phenomenal job. He's got a lot of credit in the bank. He probably has got a lot of credit in the bank with the fans, but the owners might be looking at it and saying, we've brought in Connor Cody, Lewis O'Brien, Josh Windass. The list goes on, Ben Sheaf. They've brought in a squad that really you would say, they've brought in a lot of players that, for the most part, that a lot of other clubs would have looked at and gone, we'd have chopped your right arm off to have them. We'd have chopped your right arm off to have Ben Sheaf if we were going for promotion. Lewis O'Brien, obviously I know him well from being at Forest. I thought he would have been one. It was no secret Swansea really wanted him back. He was key in helping Swansea survive last year. Wrexham took him. Connor Cody, the experience that comes with that. And England, he'd been to a World Cup with England. Everton, Wolves, all the experience there. There's numerous others in that squad who you're looking at and going, that's so much experience. That's Championship proven players. And the top players that you need in the Championship if you want to go up. And I wonder if Ryan Reynolds, Rob McElhenney are looking at it and going, oh, maybe we need someone else in. Maybe we need that sort of bigger name. I don't know. That might be harsh on Phil Parkinson. I think there's some names out there, though, that they're probably looking at and thinking, oh, could we? The obvious ones are Gary O'Neill, I think, Michael Carrick, Steven Gerrard. It's an outrageous shout. I saw him linked. He's a big name. And I think that's the other thing. I know maybe I'm being wrong, but Wrexham now in the Championship, they're not as big a story. They're not as big a story as what they once were. When they were in League One and League Two, they were Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. The club was the story of those leagues. Well, apart from last season, really, with Birmingham, where it was them two who were the stories. Now they're not. There's other storylines in there. There's Coventry with Frank Lampard. There's so many clubs with solid support bases, big support bases down there that are going to be looking and go, well, actually, we want to go up. And Wrexham are no longer the big fishes in little ponds. That's a problem for them, I think. And I think maybe they'll look at it and go, do we need a glitzy or a glamorous name in there? Or do we need someone who's proven at Championship level? Phil Parkinson, for all he is very good at League 2 and League 1 level and has deserved a fair crack at the Championship, are they maybe looking at it at that? Maybe this is, I don't say too high level for him because, he knows far more about football. He's forgotten more about football coaching than probably what I know. But I just look and think, is that something that they may be looking at and going, we need someone in here who's managed at this level or a higher level? Because if they don't pick up points in these next 3 games, and they are tough fixtures, and the teams around them do, Sheffield United are one of the teams under them, you'd think under Chris Wilder they're going to start picking up points. They've already started winning. There's others below them as well that might start winning games. All of a sudden, you're not looking at promotion, you're looking at staying up. Like I said, they're an interesting one, Wrexham. They obviously drew the weekend. I saw a Conquest double save. That was fantastic. They've been unlucky in some games. The week before, they were a fantastic fight back against Norwich, and they deserve a lot of credit for that because I remember I was at Stevenage that day, and I remember saying to my friend, I think he's gone. I think Parkinson will be gone. And there's been some, I think, unfairly who've been calling for Parkinson's head from the start, which is not right or not fair. But it does make you wonder, and I do think he may be one of the big casualties, one of the first big casualties of the Championship season, Phil Parkinson. But let's know what you guys think. Am I completely wrong? Maybe I am. I just thought, putting two and two together, that might be the case. And it was something I noticed, and something I thought was going under people's radar. Maybe because of the fairy tale element of it all, that people don't want to be saying, well, I think Parkinson might be on his way out. But I think he might struggle these next 3 games. I hope he doesn't, because I don't want to see managers get sacked. But it's an interesting one. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and thank you for everything you do. Have a great day. Thank you.